The sun bore down on cracked asphalt as Lieutenant Colonel Mara Collins, 34, parked her dark sedan beside an abandoned auto shop. She was scanning her GPS, trying to reroute to the hospital where her mother lay in critical condition. Sweat rolled down her temples, but her composure remained intact, military to the bone. Her olive uniform bore no insignia to attract attention. Yet in this neighborhood, being a black woman in uniform was all it took. A white patrol cruiser screeched to a halt nearby. No sirens, no warning. Two white officers stepped out, already oozing confrontation. The first, bulky and red-faced, adjusted his belt like he was preparing for a fight. The second, lean with sly eyes and a smirk, trailed close behind. Well, the bulky one muttered, eyeing her uniform. Halloween's early this year. Mara looked up calmly. Is there a problem, officers? The lean one chuckled. Nice costume. Got it from Party Depot, Colonel. I'm a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army, she said firmly. The two exchanged amused glances. Lieutenant Colonel. The bulky one echoed with exaggerated disbelief. Sure you are. I'm not required to prove myself to street-level harassment, she replied, her voice crisp. The lean officer pulled out his handcuffs. How about we check your fantasy at the station? Get in the car. You're out of line, she warned. There's no legal cause for detainment. You think a uniform gives you power? The bulky one barked, stepping closer. Not in this zip code. She didn't move. This uniform represents the Constitution, and you're about to violate everything it stands for. His jaw clenched. I said, hands behind your back. I'm telling you to stop. You're one order away from a career-ending mistake. That was the last straw. The officer lunged, yanking her arm hard. She winced as her shoulder twisted. He slammed her into the car, her face grinding into the hot metal. Blood trickled from her lip. McAllister grinned. Where's your military now, Colonel? Still, she didn't cry out. Her voice, hoarse but unwavering, rasped, You're both finished. Finished, the lean officer laughed. Lady, nobody's going to believe you. It's your word against two cops. Then she laughed, dry, grim, from somewhere dark. The sound made them pause. What's funny? McAllister asked. You have no idea what you just done. Her eye, swelling now, flicked toward her phone lying by the curb. She broke from their grip with startling precision. No resistance, just training. In 2 strides, she had her phone. Doyle yelled, charging, but stopped cold as she tapped in a secure number and brought the phone to her ear. Office of General Ryan, she said flatly. Lieutenant Colonel Collins. I'm under assault by local police. GPS active. Immediate protocol. Code Black. Copy. There was a pause, then a calm, authoritative voice answered. Copy, Lieutenant Colonel. Units en route. Stay on the line. McAllister staggered back as if struck. She's bluffing, right? That was fake. That wasn't real. Doyle didn't speak. His red face turned pale. Mara looked up, battered but standing. I told you to stop, she said. You didn't. And now. The superior's voice still echoed faintly from the speaker. District Chief notified. Federal response mobilizing. 5 minutes. Panic replaced arrogance. McAllister stammered. We didn't know. We thought. Thought what? She snapped. That a black woman in uniform had to be pretending? That your authority lets you drag anyone off the street? Doyle tried to compose himself. We need to. Let's all just calm down. But she wasn't finished. You'll explain this to your captain, then your chief, then maybe Congress. Sirens sounded faintly in the distance, too coordinated to be coincidence. Helicopters weren't far behind. I suggest, she said, her gaze slicing through them, you don't move. I won't repeat myself. Doyle backed off, hands half raised, the realization sinking in. This wasn't some powerless bystander. This was a federal officer with rank, credentials, and a direct line to command. That McAllister looked at her again, but the smirk was gone. We didn't mean for it to go this far. But Mara Collins had stopped listening. The line was still open, and the sound of rotors was growing louder. You really think anyone's going to believe you? McAllister snarled, stepping closer to Mara. You think one phone call ruins our lives? Doyle added, his voice rising, face flushed with fury. No one's lifting a finger for some lying black woman in a fake uniform. Then McAllister lunged. He snatched the phone from her hand, raised it high, and slammed it against the pavement. Crack! The screen exploded into pieces. Without hesitation, he crushed it beneath his boot. "There's your call," he spat. Mara didn't flinch. Her stare locked on them. Cold, unwavering, dangerous. Doyle couldn't handle the silence. Something in her eyes threatened him. He grabbed her by the hair, yanking her head back violently. "You think you're untouchable? You think someone like you can walk around giving orders?" Mara tensed, her body rigid. Doyle raised his fist to strike. Then, the sound of a powerful engine echoed from the corner. A black SUV rolled into view. No lights, no markings. The back door opened precisely, and out stepped a woman. Blonde, composed, in a crisp military uniform. Her presence sliced the air like a blade. She walked forward, boots pounding with finality. "Officers McAllister." "Doyle," she said firmly. "Release her. Now." Doyle froze. His hand still gripped Mara's hair. "Who the hell are you?" he stammered. She held up a folder with a red seal. "Supervisory Agent Kathleen Arrow. United States Army CID. You're both under arrest for assault, illegal detention, and destruction of federal evidence." Mara smiled faintly, bruised but defiant. "Told you." Doyle didn't let go. "Not yet." Arrow stepped closer. 3 seconds. "Release her, or you'll be staring down my sidearm and facing a court-martial." 1. Doyle's hand twitched. 2. McAllister dropped his cuffs. Clink. 3. Doyle finally let go. "On your knees. Hands behind your heads." "This is insane," McAllister shouted. "She attacked us. She's impersonating us." Before he finished, Arrow dropped him to the pavement with a precise move. Knee on his back, she snapped on the cuffs. "Everything you say can and will be used against you under federal and military law." Doyle tried to bolt toward the patrol car. From the far side of the SUV, another agent emerged, tall, muscular, dark-skinned, and stone-faced. Without a word, he tackled Doyle with effortless precision. Doyle hit the pavement hard and stayed down. "No, please," he gasped. "I didn't know who she was." "Silence," the second agent growled. "Talk again, and you'll bury your own defense." The click of the cuffs was louder than anything else. Final. Mara stood watching, silent, her lip bleeding, her uniform stained, her spine straight. She didn't speak as they were led to the SUV. Before stepping in, Arrow turned to her. "Lieutenant Colonel, General Ryan requested you remain here. This is moving straight to federal prosecution and internal review. It's high priority now." Mara gave a small nod. "Thank you." "I'm sorry," Arrow added. "We should have been faster." Mara didn't respond. She didn't need to. The silence said enough. 3 days later, drone footage from the Army Support Unit leaked to the press. The headline was everywhere. 2 officers arrested after assaulting black lieutenant colonel. Federal response underway. Mara watched it from the hospital waiting room, beside her sleeping mother. She didn't seek interviews or give statements. She let the footage speak. That night, both officers were suspended without pay. Within 48 hours, they were federally charged with aggravated assault, abuse of authority, and obstruction of a military operation. The local police department issued a bland statement promising cooperation, but no one believed it. Fort Moore. The entire battalion stood at attention when Mara returned, her lips still healing, a fresh uniform on. No applause, no speeches, just silence, earned and reverent. Later that evening, alone at home, she sat in front of her mirror, the bruises still visible. She slowly unlaced her boots, stared at her own reflection. And for the first time in years, tears came. Not from weakness, not from fear, but from everything she'd carried, hidden, suppressed through years of service. Years of proving herself to a world that still saw her skin before her rank. But not this time. This time, the uniform meant something. This time, silence had been broken. This time, the system had listened. And next time, anyone like McAllister and Doyle would think twice.